Good morning! So we have an additional examples on evaluating functions. Okay, so we have here, sabi dito, ano ang hindi ninyo naunawaan sa activity na ibinigay ko in last two? Okay, so merong nagsabi, yung may radical sign, sir. So we have here, halimbawa, paano nyo i-evaluate itong function na may pangalan na capital R, R of x equals the square root of 4x plus 8 at x equals negative 1. This is the given. Now, when you evaluate class, you always write first the given. After writing the given, replace x by the value which is negative 1. And then we have inside the radical sign for x, papalitan natin itong x ng negative 1. If you notice, naka-enclose siya sa parenthesis. Okay? And then, remember this is 4 times x. Kaya 4 times negative 1. Kasi pag inalis natin ang parenthesis, magiging 4 minus 1 siya. Then next is you are going to multiply first this, applying PEMDAS rule. So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4y. Multiplying unlike sign is negative. So then plus 8, meaning kinokopya lang yung radical sign. Negative 4 plus 8. In addition, we have two rules, adding the same sign and adding unlike sign. So this is adding unlike sign. Adding unlike sign, you are going to subtract and then you are going to copy the sign of the bigger number in terms of its absolute value. Ang ibig sabihin, pag sinabing absolute value, tatakpan nyo itong sign. Alin ang malaki, 4 or 8? Of course, 8. Then you are going to copy the positive sign as the sign of 4. Then square root of 4, we have 2 or negative 2. Then, so that's the value when we are going to evaluate the original function r of x, which is equal to 4x plus 8 at x equals negative 1. We have positive 2 or negative 2. Another example. Suppose you are going to evaluate the function m of x equals 4x plus 5 at x equals x plus 6. So as your solution, always write first the given, mx or m of x equals 4x plus 5. Then, itong x, papalitan na natin ng value which is x plus 6. Itong x, nakatabi ng 4, papalitan din natin ng x plus 6. If you notice my arrow, so pinalitan na natin ng x plus 6 at papalitan din natin ng x plus 6. And then, distribute. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times positive 6 is positive 24. And then copy positive 5. Then simplify. Since 4x is only 1 without similar terms, so you need to copy. But then positive 24 and positive 5 are similar. Adding the same sign, add the number, and copy the sign. So this is the final answer. If you notice, hindi ko na kinopya yung m of x plus 6. It's understood that in the left side, pag wala dyan nakalagay, meaning kinopya lang po yan. And this is now the answer when the function m evaluated by x plus 6. We have 4x plus 29. Another example. Suppose you are going to evaluate the function m of x equals 4x squared minus 5x plus 2 at x equals negative 6. Of course, sabi ko nga, ang laging first step is to write first the given before you substitute the value para makikita nyo na talagang kinakopya nyo yung original na function. Papalitan lang natin, nakita nyo dito, kulay pula, papalitan natin ng value na yung x na negative 6. Sa kabila din, yung x ng negative 6, pero may square siya. O, nakita nyo, may square. At kinopya lang yung negative 5. Itong x, papalitan ng negative 6. Then, kinopya lang yung positive 2. Remember that when we substitute, you always enclose it with parentheses. Now, in this case, when you simplify, uunahin nyo muna yung may square. We are following the PEMDAS rule. Parentheses, exponent, multiplication, or division before you are going to add or subtract. Exponent muna ang mauna. Exponent. Sir, sabi mo parentheses. Parentheses ba yan? Hindi po yan. This is the sign of multiplication. But before you multiply, you square it first. This is multiplication ang ibig sabihin niyan. Ang tinatawag kong parenthesis kung marami ang nasa loob. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng parenthesis sa letter P ng PEMDAS. So in this case, you square first. Negative 6 times negative 6. That's the meaning of square. You multiply to itself. Negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. Okay. Wala na siyang exponent. So you can multiply now. 4 times 36 is 144. And then here, this is negative 5 times negative 6. Okay, isama nyo na itong negative, itong minus sign as the sign of 5 para isa na lang ang sign nyo. Negative times negative is positive. 5 times 6 is 30. We copy plus 2. And then you can add this. The same sign in addition. Just add the number and copy the sign. We have 32. And we have the same sign in addition. You just add the number and copy the common sign. The common sign is positive. That's why the answer is positive 176. So another example. Variable naman siya. Sabi ko nga, pag nag-i-evaluate, hindi lang po number ang value. Pwede rin variable or expressions. In this case, the given function is m of x equals 4x squared plus 5. And you are going to evaluate at x equals x plus 1. Okay. Now, if you notice, kinopya lang natin ang given. Nakakulay pula yung independent variable na x. Kasi yan ang papalitan natin ng x plus 1. Okay, so we have m of x plus 1. Papalitan mo rin yung given function sa x. Yung x papalitan natin ng x plus 1. But then you need to enclose it with parentheses at may square sa labas. Then, kokopyahin lang yung plus 5. So in this case, simplify first yung square. Ang ibig sabihin ng square, multiply to itself, x plus 1 times x plus 1. May shortcut po yan, kahit hindi siya long method. Ang long method, di ba, ganito? So we have x plus 1 times x plus 1. And then, okay, magmo-multiply na tayo. So you are going to multiply this, yan, like this. So when you multiply that, that's x squared. Then the same here going there. And that is positive x times 1 is positive 1x or positive x. Then another, dito naman tayo. Na-distribute mo na lahat itong first term sa baba to all the terms sa multiplicand. So, the second term naman ng multiplier to all the terms. So, positive 1 times x is positive x. So, you align the common. And then the last, we have this positive 1 times positive 1. So, we have positive 1. Then, your next step is to add. You're going to add. So bring down x squared, and then similar positive x plus positive x. So you just copy the common variable, just add the coefficient, numerical coefficient. It has 1 here and it has 1 here. Positive 1 plus positive 1 is 2. So you just copy the literal coefficient, then bring down positive 1. These three terms are dissimilars. You cannot combine. So this is now the final answer. If you notice, we have the same answer. But then, there is a shortcut. Okay. Ang shortcut ng square of a binomial, you just multiply the first term to itself. X times x, we have x squared. When we multiply to itself, just add the exponent sa sarili niyang exponent. The exponent, pag walang exponent is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And then the middle term is twice of the product of the first term and the second term. Pero ang ginagawa ko, instead of twice, minumultiply. Itong exponent na to, yan ang ginagamit ko as twice. Meaning, we are going to use this to multiply the second term and the first term. So, 2 times 1 is 2, times x is 2x. And then, square of the last term, which is 1. 1 times 1 is positive 1. When it's square, it's always positive. So, laging plus ang sa last term at ang nasa first term. And we copy positive 5. Then after that, you just distribute 4 inside the parentheses. So 4 times x squared is 4x squared. 4 times positive 2x is positive 8x. And then 4 times positive 1 is positive 4. And we copy positive 5. Then, you can combine similar term. Ito lang yung similar. Positive 4 plus positive 5 is positive 9. We just copy positive 8x and positive 4x squared. Kasi dissimilar sila. Ito na po ang final answer when we evaluate the function m at x plus 6. So if you notice, hindi ko na siya sinulat. As long as just align the equality sign para hindi kayo magkamali. Malinaw po. Okay, another example. Suppose you are going to evaluate the function represented by b. b of x equals negative x plus 20 at x equals negative 11. I said, your first step is to write the given and replace the independent variable x by negative 11. This is the value that you are going to replace. Okay? The independent variable. So, b of negative 11. If you notice yung x, may sign na negative. Kukopyahin nyo yung negative. Kasi pag hindi nyo yan kinopya, magkakamali ang sagot nyo. X lang po ang papalitan natin ng negative 11. So, when we substitute, pag pinalitan, meaning maglalagay ng parenthesis para hindi magkamali. So, negative of, open parenthesis, negative 11, close parenthesis, then copy plus 20. I said, sabi ko nga, bawat parenthesis, so you, ang isipin nyo dyan ay nagmo-multiply kayo. Pag walang sign sa labas, ang ibig sabihin, positive. In this case, may sign sa labas, meaning negative. Negative times positive is positive. Negative times negative is positive. Remember, in multiplication, multiplying the same negative to negative is positive. Multiplying to unlike sign is negative. Tandaan ha, multiplying two numbers or variable having the same sign is positive, while multiplying unlike sign is negative. But in this case, 2, the same sign is positive 11 plus 20. Then adding the same sign is copy the sign and add the number. So 11 plus 20 is 31. Okay, so the answer is 31. Okay, hanggang dyan na lang po. Please watch Evaluating Piecewise Function. Thank you!